ready to get your shit together? Isn't that what we are all truly trying to do? In this fun, life hack full show, we will learn together how to navigate this roller coaster called life. We, as glorious messy humans, can sit in the proverbial third car, grumpy and bored, or in the front of the roller coaster having the time of our lives. What do you choose? In this show, you can expect meaningful content and practical takeaway tools to make life easier and exceptionally more joyful. There will be epic guests who already love their lives, allowing them to share their get your shit together tips and words of wisdom. Life is too long and too short to not love your life. Welcome to Get Your Shit Together Live with Amy Joy. Hello, happy Thursday. Welcome to Get Your Shit Together Live with Amy Joy, and I'm your host, Amy Joy. Congratulations on your abundance. Again, I want to start every episode with this kind reminder. I want you to look around right now at the car you're driving or the home you're sitting in, the couch, the TV, the phone. We are so abundant. And the more we can realize it and have that gratitude is the rocket ship to joy. So congratulations on your abundance. Today, we are going to answer the question of the week. And the question of the week is this: how do you deal with the death of a dream? And then how do you then find a new inspiring one? We're going to go deep, and we're going to do that with the amazing Nate Zeleznick. He is the co-founder of Vibravision and the founder of the White Dove Method. The White Dove Method is the most advanced personal energy management system on the planet and is the next stage of personal evolution. I wanted to get that right, and I definitely want to know more about that and why he claims that statement. That is huge. So I want to know more about that. Stay tuned to the end. We have Mantra Magic with Kelsey from Instagram. I'll be loving you always. And then also we'll be doing the meditation moment at the end with a blessing to end the show. So it's a life hack full show. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you taking the time. And now it is time for Change Your State, Elevate. What is that? We're going to take 2 minutes every episode to change our state. When we can raise our frequency, we change our life. And these are going to be quick little tips and tricks on how you can do that. Today, we are going to do box breath. Now, I want to show you and tell you some of the things that this one breathing technique will do. It can help you cope with panic and stress when feeling overwhelmed. It helps you sleep when you are having insomnia. If you're on the chat on Facebook, put a yes in there if any of these you can relate to. Helps to control hyperventilation as you can instruct your lungs to breathe rhythmically. And it helps you refocus when you are having a busy or stressful day. I don't know about you, but that sounds like it pretty much covers all the important things. And last but not least, it says it eases panic and worry. Ha! All right, so here we go. I want you to just sit up straight. And for a minute, I want you just to breathe. Just breathe. And I want you to notice if your stomach's coming out. Because when that happens, that means you're breathing properly. If your shoulders are going up, it means you're breathing into the shallow part of your lungs, which means you're not really breathing very well at all. So make sure that stomach's popping out. And then we're just going to breathe 4 counts. So you're going to breathe in through your nose, 4 counts. And then you're going to hold at the top for 4 counts. And then you're going to exhale through your mouth for 4 counts. And then you're going to hold at the bottom for 4 counts. And then we're going to breathe in for 4 counts and do the whole thing again. So I'm going to guide you. Don't worry. If you're driving, be careful. Like, keep your eyes open. Otherwise, let's do this. All right, ready? So breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. All right. Put in the chat how that made you feel. That alone can just calm you right down and help you enjoy the moment. And the moment is all that we really have, right? So we might as well enjoy it. Awesome. So today we're going to answer the question, how do you deal with the death of a dream? And then how do you find a new and inspiring one? This is a big one for most of the world when you think about it. Did you know that according to the National Center for Family and Marriage Research, there were 948,862 divorces in 2021? That's almost a million. That's just in the US alone. Okay, we haven't even looked at the planet. And if you think about breakups, the amount of breakups that we as a human race go through in our lifetime, it's huge. It's a lot. It could be a breakup of a spouse or a boyfriend or girlfriend or a friendship or a business relationship, right? And all of these started with a dream. No one walks down that aisle thinking that they're going to divorce, right? No, you don't start a business with somebody thinking that it's going to end. And I have gone through all of those things, right? And the one that was the hardest for me was the death of my marriage. And it took me 8 years to leave an abusive marriage, mostly, at least in part, because I didn't want to give up on the dream of a happily ever after, the dream of a loving husband, except for I didn't have that. From the day of our wedding, he was a completely different person. But I had my head in the sand, right? I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to believe that it could stay this way. Now, there's all kinds of good things about having hope and trying lots of things, for sure. And there comes a point, and I know you can relate to this, there comes a point when you have to wake up, right? And so I'm going to go through the steps on how to do that. I hope you have a pen. Again, I hope you have a notebook for this class so that at the end of the year, you can go through that notebook and you're going to have so many nuggets in there, because that is my mission to give you so many life hacks and nuggets that will change the trajectory of your life and help you enjoy it just a little more. All right. So step 1 is this. You have to become aware of the reality of the death of the dream, that it's time to realize that it's just not going to work out the way that you think or that you thought, right? So awareness is the first thing. And here's a good question you can ask. Where in my life have I been an ostrich, refusing to truly see what is really going on? Sometimes we can be ostriches. Sometimes we put our head in the sand and our ass in the air, and it's not attractive. It doesn't help us. And we have to realize. So take a minute and just think about that. Step number 2 is this. Decide if you're staying or leaving the situation, or if you're making an adjustment. All right. Doesn't mean you have to bail right away, but it might mean that there needs some change that has to happen. Right. And so you have to ask that question. Is it a leaving? Is it a staying? Or is it a change? And understand, if you're staying, that you're choosing that. So no more complaining about it, right? Or make a shift. Okay. Step number 3. What lessons were learned and what gifts were received from this situation? This is such an important step. When you can look back on something that is really hard, the death of a dream is really, really hard. It rattles everything. I would say it rattles every cell in our bodies, the big ones anyways, right? But if we can see the gifts that come from that, oof, now we can't look back on it like we're some victim. Now we can see the blessings, and then it it allows us to step into our power. It allows us to say, okay, yeah, I don't choose it anymore. And I'm grateful for the things that I learned. And sometimes you're learning how not to do something, right? What isn't. For me, I learned in my marriage what love isn't. I know exactly what love isn't. And that is a really good thing to know. Thankfully, now I also know what love is. But that relationship specifically showed me what love isn't. And that is a gift. So what gifts have you received from the death of a dream in your life? What gifts, what benefits, what beautiful things, what beautiful people have come into your life because of it? Write it down. All right. And then the fourth one is you want to turn your fear and trauma into triumph. How do you do that? Right? How do you turn something that is so traumatic? We see it as that, don't we? So traumatic. How do we turn that into freedom? How do we turn that into triumph? Well, number one, seeing those gifts helps, seeing all the beautiful things that happen. And then what you want to do is replace it with a new dream, something that gets you excited, something, a redefinition. You want to redefine it. You want to reframe it, right? I didn't lose the death of wanting a beautiful relationship. I just realized that the one that I was in wasn't the beautiful relationship that was possible, right? And so I got to move on from that, and I got to know even more clearly what a beautiful relationship would not look like, or what a bad relationship looks like, and what I don't want in my next relationship, right? And it gave me a little bit more understanding of what I did want. All right. So you want to replace it, reframe it, change it. Again, that 2 millimeter difference, you can do this much of a change and you end up in a different place. It matters. All these little changes matter. All right. So we got those 4 steps on how to deal with the death of a dream. And we're going to talk in the future on how to actually make the shifts if necessary, if big shifts are needed. We're going to go through that. But for right now, I am so excited to introduce you to Mr. Nate Zeleznick. I'm going to read his bio for you so I get it correct. He is the co-founder of Vibravision and the founder of the White Dove Method, which merges the ancient energetic martial breathwork meditation and expanded perception arts from the kings of Java with modern science and training technology. The White Dove Method is the most advanced personal energy management system on the planet and is the next stage of personal evolution. Woo! Over the past 20 plus years, he has mastered the energetic arts, co-founded the only U.S. school allowed to train these capabilities, and now offers specialized training for groups around the world. Nate has received validation from medical and scientific professionals and is a sought-after speaker, trainer, and leader in the spiritual and seeker communities who want to merge science with the sacred. Woo! Nate, I'm so excited you're here. Drum roll, everyone. I welcome Nate Zeleznick. Thank you, my friend. Oh, I can't hear you.
Let's try that again. Hello, Amy, and hello, everyone out there. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
And you know, I just realized, Nate, that in the show opener, you were the one who caught me after I did the arrow break.
Correct. I was the one holding the arrow.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. How cool. So Nate and I have been really good friends for a couple of years, and I've had huge respect for what he does. And it is my real privilege to have you here on the show. Nate, I'd like you just to connect with the audience for a minute and give them a short little, a little more information about who you are and where you began and how you got to where you are today.
Sure. Wonderful. Thank you. Well, I'm really, first of all, I'd like to say I'm so excited to be here and blessed. And, this has been a very interesting road for me to be able to be here right here, for everyone. And it's taken a lot of, we're talking about the death of a dream. It's taken several of those along the way in order to get here. And I can say that through all of these things, it's been worth every ounce of learning and knowledge that's come with it. And, my experience may be unique in life, but every single person's experience is unique in their life. And we all have amazing stories and things that we've done in our life. And one thing that I'm really hopeful for is that I'm able to provide a message that gives people some actionable things that they can do to consistently improve their lives on a daily basis. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much. And I'm excited for what's coming next in the interview.
All right. Awesome. All right. Well, I think the obvious question, Nate, is what is the white dove method?
Thank you very much. That's perfect. So, for the past 24 years, I have been one of the 2 non-Indonesian people allowed in the United States to teach the white dove method, which in Indonesia it's called merpati putih. Now, it sounds kind of strange to us, but merpati putih literally translates into white dove, which is why I just turned it to the English version in order to honor the heritage and the lineage of this art, which stems from a king of Central Java 500 years ago and his family lineage being translated and transferred from father to son or to daughter for 11 generations before
Wow.
my brother Mike and I became the first 2 non-Indonesian people allowed to learn this. So what is it though? So what this is it's a method, a tried and true method that's been perfected over centuries that helps us to realize our personal power and actually be able to use it, our chi, if you will, in a quick manner, faster than any we've ever seen before. And it is one of the most powerful breathwork techniques that anyone who has ever trained with us has done. And we've had breath workers who are certified teachers in so many different modalities and yogis, and everyone agrees that this is literally the rocket ship for everything else out there in the breathwork or the meditation community.
Wow.
So,
So who is the white dove method for primarily?
well, we people who have bodies, first of all, I'll just say, if you have a body, this will work for you. If you don't, I'm sorry, I really can't help you much. But when it comes down to who this is actually for, it depends on what level people want to be involved. So
Mhm.
in Indonesia, this is actually standard training for every branch of their military because of the
Oh,
health benefits, stamina, the immune function. And I mean, it's amazing what this does with your body in such a little time. So there's that, but that's a pretty extreme level. But even people who want to do this even for like 5 minutes a day, we've seen amazing things, almost miraculous from this method in as little as 5 minutes. So it really
whoa.
depends on where people want to be involved. But as far as our in-person events, those are really for seekers, but also people who are biohackers. Biohackers love what this does for their body, and it's really some of the science that's been done in Indonesia is just incredible. Now we don't have that validated here in the United States yet, but we're working on it. And so people who can have such a change in their physiology, say with illnesses and things like that people have
Mhm.
reported, it's amazing where you can go from point A to point, oh my gosh, I'm really a powerful creator, but I'm a powerful healer, a self-healer. This method does that for people physically, but also mentally and emotionally as well.
Wow.
So
So
yeah,
who give me an idea, an example of your poster child of this?
a poster child of the
Of
white
this
dove.
method. Like what does it do specifically? Give us an example of a person that you know that used this and then this happened.
Okay, for sure. Okay, that's great. Well, that actually encompasses hundreds of students over the past 20,
I'm
so
sure.
21 years. So
Pick
in
one.
that time, yeah, for sure. Okay, so I'll I need to also preface that the White Dove Method is actually a martial art. So for
Okay.
21 years, I ran one of the largest martial arts schools in the state of Utah with my brother Mike. So it was martial arts, but also the energy work and that side, which a lot of martial arts actually don't even have in their curricula. So I just want to make sure that there's a separation that with the White Dove Method, I'm teaching primarily the energy and the breath work. I'm not in the meditation and the self-healing, things of that nature, the consciousness work, not the
Perfect.
martial art. Just so,
Okay. No,
so
that's great. Good
to
to know.
preface that, yeah, yeah, good to know. So with the White Dove Method, let's say I'll give an example of somebody who came in, and this is a pretty extreme example, results not typical, but, I'm not going to make any medical claims, but we had numerous people, but one in particular, he came in with a brain tumor the size of an egg,
Okay.
and he'd already had it removed, and it came back. And so the doctors had said, listen, we can do this surgery again. And he said, nope, not going to do it. Chemo wasn't going to help him. So he started training with me and my brother back in, it was like 2001. So it's been a minute. And he was doing this breath work for 3 months with us. And when he went back in and they did the MRI, it had gone to the size of a marble. Where it was an egg, it went to a marble.
Wow.
And the only thing he'd changed, he was still drinking, chewing, and smoking. Okay, so this guy was he had made his peace with it, and where it was growing kind of out of control, the only thing he did different, and he did attribute this to this before his passing, is the white dove method and the breath work that we do.
Wow.
And well, I'm not going to say that that's 100%, but the doctor said, you know, this is 100% terminal. So it allowed him to get his affairs in orders for his family before his passing. So it was really an extension in a great way. So that's a pretty high level example. But even people who just have asthma, I wouldn't say just, but people who have asthma, compared to a brain tumor, that's not as bad. But almost every single person that's come to us who has had asthma or long COVID has been able to find relief from that in sometimes as little as a week or two.
Okay. Wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
Wow. So how can we do this? How can we learn? Do you have any online courses available?
Yes. As a matter of fact, we're producing a 5-part masterclass series right now, which, Amy, if you pop that up, that thing.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So anybody who would like to actually learn this, we have a free gift for everyone. So if you go to this address on your screen, the whitedovemethod.com/Nate-LA, there should be a pop-up that comes up that allows you to get some more information and register for the masterclass. All right. So as soon as it comes up, which should be in the next week, you can start learning right away. It's a pretty amazing system.
Well, that's huge. Thank you so much for that. Everybody write it down. You're not going to remember it. Write it down. I'm going to leave it up for a few more minutes for you. Awesome. All right, Nate. So here's the deal. Our question of the week is, how do you deal with the death of a dream? And then how do you move on and find a new inspiring one? How would you answer that?
Well, that is a very, I will say in my life, pertinent question, Amy. So recently, after 21 years of running the MPUSA, the Marpati Putti or White Dove USA school in Ogden, Utah, and the Vibravision Academy since 2016, I decided to branch out to be able to serve a larger population than what the Vibravision program itself was. So, you know, with COVID, half of the martial arts schools in the United States closed within the first, I believe, 3 or 4 months of COVID. Half permanently.
So Nate, I'm going to interrupt you. We're going to try not to say the C word because YouTube doesn't like it. So,
okay.
So,
got you. Right.
Sorry, but speech isn't as free as it used to be. So
you got it. So no problem. Okay. So we had some difficult times with our martial arts business, and it had to be closed. But we still wanted to keep the dream of the Vibravision alive. Now, what Vibravision is an application of the White Dove techniques that allows people to literally see without their eyes. And I know, as strange as that sounds, we have been able to validate this medically with optical professionals, with military professionals, with blind people even. With just the amount of evidence that this is possible in different arenas is so staggering. So with Vibravision, that became our staple that we operated in until it's still going. But I decided I wanted to help a larger demographic than that. So I decided to branch. And so now with the White Dove method, I'm teaching more of the energy building, the healing for self and others. Beautiful. Things like remote viewing, tantric work for couples. That's a big topic. As well as, I mean, it's really unlimited what this can do. So people can use it for all kinds of things in their life, which is why I'm so blessed that I get to share this. Even though I had to branch, that was a big dream that went away. Yeah. That I would be running this business forever with my brother. But anybody who's been able to have the honor to work with their family realizes it's pretty tough. And so we decided that we were going to be able to serve more people and service our mission, which has always been to raise human consciousness, one breath at a time, that we were going to see what it looked like. And to that end, right there is, you know, when we made that decision, the universe really opened up for both of us, and we started having more flow and success and our businesses both started to really take off.
Wow.
As soon as we decided and we realized that we are better serving more of the human population than just one program can do.
Oh, wow.
So
Divide
yeah,
and conquer.
yeah, exactly. So
I would say divide and love, though, right? We're not trying to conquer anything.
yeah, absolutely.
I
Well,
know your heart.
no, I'm not conquering. Ignorance to our potential. That I can conquer. I want to conquer that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Ignorance
If I'm
to our potential. Okay.
yeah.
Well, I just want to honor you for taking that step. Would you say, Nate, that it shook you to your core, like the
Oh man.
process of coming to this and then actually pulling the trigger on doing this? And tell me more about that.
Yeah. That was it was a long time in coming,
Mhm.
but when it finally got down to the point where it was just out of resonance with my sole purpose of what I feel I'm here to do,
Yeah.
I just went, you know what? Let's go with ease and grace. What does that look like? If we just say, okay,
Mhm.
let's do this and let's do it amicably and let's serve. Let's do this for the people that we came here to serve and not about ourselves. And as soon as we really did that, things started flowing a lot smoother between us and immeasurably. So that's a wonderful thing because I love my brother dearly and I want nothing but his continued success and to help him enlighten the world. And I also have a different soul path than him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And it's okay, right?
that's okay.
It's
And
okay to shift. It's okay to pivot. It's okay to make a change.
we're here to learn, and
Yeah.
learning comes through contrast. It really does.
Yeah.
So, this is something that's been near and dear to my heart because you can't imagine any people closer than my brother and I. You
Yeah.
can't. It was like we almost like a marriage for 43 years.
Woof.
But yeah. So these are life shifts, right? But
Wow. Thank you for
thing you
sharing
can't
that.
yeah.
That
The
must
thing you can't
not have
deny
been
though.
the easiest thing to
Yeah.
do.
Oh no, definitely very difficult. Very difficult, and it's still difficult. What can you
Yeah.
say? We're human.
Yeah.
But as I did that and the universe responded and the absolute support that I felt from the universe and the amazing people coming in at exactly the right moment with the exact market that I want to serve over and over and over and over, it can't be denied. And so when you have things that you have made the very best decision for I believe, for your soul or your higher self, your growth, when you step into that alignment, I can say from personal experience, hold on, because it's okay to have all the good things happen. It's okay. It's totally
It's okay to have all the good things happen.
yeah.
Write that down. That was a
Sure.
nugget. Wow. Really
Yeah.
cool. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
For,
Thank you. And
for both of you. For both
yeah,
of you.
me
Because
too.
it it doesn't work when it's not working.
That's right.
Right. And it keeps you stuck and stagnant, and you nailed it when you said about flowing. I guess my question is this to you, Nate: was it worth it making the shift?
All of it was worth it. Every single second, no matter what it was, from growing up in a small town, being bullied, to being a bully for my brother, and then us becoming best friends, doing all of these things in every single second that has transpired since birth, really has led
Wow.
up to this point right here. And I have to say, every single second, all of the hard parts, all of the beautiful parts, even the blah parts have been worth it.
Wow.
It's impossible to describe until you actually surrender what you think is control, which we don't have really.
Right.
Once I
The
did that,
illusion of it.
yeah. And I always thought surrendering was giving up. And as a martial artist, giving up is not something you really want to do. That's throwing in the towel, that's tapping out, that is failing essentially. But
Mhm.
this kind of surrender is not fail, it's flow.
How do you
And
know the difference? That's a great that is so pertinent because I'm not a quitter either, and it kept me in an abusive marriage for 8 years.
right.
So some of our best traits are our worst traits, right? When we're
Right.
out of balance, when we're not listening to ourselves,
Mhm.
right? So what would you say the difference is?
Is how you feel. Like how you
Mhm.
feel in the core of you. Like, okay, so hopefully most of the viewers, if not all of the viewers out there, are at least familiar with what meditation is and how hopefully beneficial that it is. Because when we listen inside, that's the most important thing that we can do. And so much of the time, especially now, I mean, we're so into every kind of social media and all kinds of entertainment. I mean, it's different than when you had 4 channels and the rabbit ear antennas. Now we have thousands of things to distract our attention from ourselves. And I did that for a long time, like a lot of other people do that. I mean, it's pretty normal in society. But being mindful and going deep within yourself, that is something that more and more people are starting to do. And it's becoming more of a revolution, if you will. So, yeah, I get a little bit off tangent there, but.
No, it's beautiful. Well, don't go away. We're going to come right back after a few words, and we're going to find out Nate's #1 life hack. Stay with us. All right, and we're back. Awesome. So, Nate, you know that travel is one of my favorite things.
Absolutely.
And you also know that travel also teaches us a lot about ourselves and the planet. And here's my question. Tell me a story about a trip or travel experience that taught you a key lesson or highlighted an area where you needed to get your shit together.
Oh, one of my favorite stories. Okay, so 2005, my brother and I go over to Indonesia after having been trained by a former Special Forces trainer for Merpati Putih, the White Dove system here in Utah. Well, we went to Indonesia to gain our senior ranks because we'd been able to test and train over here to a certain point. But at a certain point, there's only one place in the world you can go to earn your next rank in the Merpati Putih White Dove system. And that's Central Java at a place called Yogyakarta. One of the most beautiful places I've ever been.
Is that Indonesia?
Yep, in Central Java, Indonesia. Okay. And so in 2005, my brother Mike and I, we went to Java, and we actually tested in the most sacred place that there is for this martial art. Wow. So they called in all of the master trainers, the grandmasters, to come in and test the 2 non-Indonesian people personally. It was just us. Just the both of us. That was it. And so we had this amazing contingent of people testing us, and they put us through the ringer. They wanted to make sure that for us to carry on this lineage and this history, this technique, this art in America, we better be on the level. And so there's a part of this where you have to walk what is called the road to hell. Now, the reason they call it the road to hell, it's an interesting story. So the road to hell is called the road to hell because it is lava rock, like broken lava rock. So imagine taking the lava rock from your grill, throwing it on your patio, and then walking on that for about 6 miles.
I'm assuming barefoot is
barefoot, correct. So let's just say this gave a new definition to the term ow. Ow, ow, ow. Every step was agony. And finally, we got halfway to the end, and we're just like, it's the point of no return. We can't go back. We have to keep going forward, because if I go back, it's just as far back
Right.
and it's going to hurt just as much. So I might
Oof.
as well keep going. And we did. We went all the way to the end. My brother actually had a dislocated leg and did this as well. And I had a dislocated bone in my left foot. It was, yeah, it's been some trials.
Wow.
And what did this teach me though? You know, it's like Winston Churchill said, when you're going through hell, when you're walking through hell, keep going.
Write that down.
Yeah,
Write
when you're
that
going through,
down.
that's Churchill. Yeah.
I love that. When you're walking through hell, keep going.
Yes.
Okay.
Because otherwise you just go back to more hell. And if you're going to do it again, you're going to repeat the process to get where you are right now. So one foot in front of the other, just keep going. So that's what we did. And we came down, and then you have these tests where you're breaking all this, steel bars, iron bars, stone, for your martial arts and energy projection testing.
Right.
You have to be able to do certain things that should be literally considered impossible. So what that taught me is A, the impossible is possible, and B, no matter what, keep going.
The impossible is possible, and no matter what, keep going. And isn't the beautiful thing about going through hell is that everything else is relative?
Yes, it is.
I love that. I love that I've been through some hard stuff, because it makes the majority of everything else just really awesome. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And again, gratitude is the rocket ship to joy, right?
Absolutely.
Right. All right.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Wow. Thank you for that amazing story. I climbed a volcano in Guatemala, and I had shoes on, but just like touching the rocks, I would have cuts on my hands. It's intense stuff. Wow. Well done. Glad you got through that.
Me too.
And here's what we want to know now. What is your number one life hack? What can you share with us? Number one life hack.
Number one life hack.
Get your shit together.
Absolutely. Is, for me, I actually did this. I set an alarm for once an hour on my phone to remind me, what am I grateful for? And am I present? Am I a human doing, or am I a human being? What am I right now?
Ooh.
My alarm didn't say all of that. It just goes off and it reminds me to do that.
Am I a human being or a human doing? That was the question you asked yourself?
Oh, I ask myself that all the time, repeatedly.
Yeah.
That's when it would go off, is I would ask myself, okay, am I present? Am I aware right now? Or am I just doing an autopilot thing like so many of us do almost all the time, like 95% of our life?
Yep, we are. We're 95% zombie.
Yeah. And so there are all kinds of breath work techniques, meditations that you can do, things of that nature. But you have to become present to do those things. So it's kind of, I'm sure most people can relate to, let's say, driving. You drive someplace and you're like, wow, I'm glad my car knew the way here because I wasn't even paying attention. Well, so much of our life, we're on autopilot, and taking our attention and our intention and making them conscious, it's very important if we're going to be the creators that we can actually be. So I set an alarm, remind me to be present often. You'd be surprised at how often we go under.
It's true. We go under most of the time. And that's amazing. Okay, set alarm once an hour to get present and to ask yourself, am I being a human being or a human doing? I love that. End of last year, I had a situation where I was sat down on my butt pretty much for 6 weeks. I couldn't move, really. I couldn't do nothing. I was under doctor's orders to do nothing. And I had a crisis of identity, because I felt worthless if I wasn't doing something. So at the end of the day, when I would tell my partner what I was doing, I did nothing. And and he'd ask, he goes, what'd you do? I'm like, nothing. I was just suffering because I had done nothing. And so what I ended up doing is setting alarms like that. And I also rejoiced and celebrated every time I did nothing. Every time I got present, I would listen to music and dance around, and I had to change the program because the other program made me feel guilty and shameful for doing nothing, instead of being proud of myself for being present and for taking that time that I needed to for myself, right?
Absolutely.
So, wow. Thank you for that. I love that.
Yeah.
If you had one thing that you could shout from the mountaintop to tell the whole planet, what would you shout?
Okay, shout something that would land, hopefully.
Yes. Shout something that would land. Yes. If you had one thing that you could impact the whole planet and the whole planet was listening and you only had, 30 seconds or a minute to do it, what would you say? What do they
Wow.
need to know?
Yeah.
What do we need to know?
Yes, absolutely. So I would let everyone know that you are so much more than the potential that you think you have. We are truly unlimited beings. The only way that we find that is by actually doing difficult things, things that push us, things that help us grow, because that's what we're here to do as soul, is to grow and learn. So to be aware of that and to really embrace that you are a creative force unlike anything else.
Right.
That it's worth taking the time, whatever that is for you, to know yourself deeply.
I feel that. Yes, we are powerful, powerful beings, and we don't tap into. What percentage do you think we tap into, actually, of what's possible? What do you think we as humans actually tap into?
Oh,
Do you know any
wow.
stats on that?
Oh, no, I don't know any stats on that. However,
Okay.
I would say it's probably, I don't know, 2%. As far
I
as
would,
what we're actually capable of, yeah. And
yeah,
every single time throughout history, there's always been these limits, right? So Roger Bannister with the 4-minute mile, landing a person on the moon, all these different milestones that humans have done that they said it would never possibly be
right.
able to be done. And so, even the things that I've seen, people being able to see without their eyes to the degree that they can read, they can drive cars, they can shoot weapons and accurately do so, and do anything that you and I can do without their eyes, lends itself to seeing the miraculous on a regular basis. And then being able to have a method that can teach people how to be their own miracles and unlock whatever their superpowers are. That's what the White Dove method does. That's exactly what it does. So people get to really power up whatever their superpower is going to be. Maybe you're a teleporter. Maybe you can run really fast. I don't know. But some people see without their eyes. Other people are able to remote view very accurately. Other people become very strong healers of themselves and others through the method.
Wow.
And yeah, it's
Wow.
all there available for us if you have a body.
I personally can't wait to do one of your in-person events soon. I want to do it. It's on my list for this next year. So we're make that happen. Everyone look on the screen there for your free gift. You have a free ticket to a masterclass with Nate coming here soon. So get that. And Nate, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. We'll have you on at the end. Right now we're going to Mantra Magic right after this. All right. What is mantra magic? Mantra magic is a mantra that we're given, which is a loop. It's a phrase on a loop in the form of a song that helps us reprogram our minds. All right. Often we have loops like, I'm not good enough. This always happens to me. Life is hard. Things like this, right? So if we can change the loop and put something else in our minds, it can completely change our life. And we have the amazing Kelsey Garcia from Instagram called I'll Be Loving You Always. I'll put it up here in a minute. But here is our mantra for the week, and you can find it on Instagram to get it locked in.
Hi guys, welcome back to Mantra Magic. I'm Kelsey, and happy holidays, guys. We have New Year's coming in soon, so this week's mantra is based on that growth. When you have to go back into those situations with your family, old friends, hometown, you've changed, and how to be around that, and how to be in your integrity of who you are and all the work you did to change. So today, this is your mantra. I hope you enjoy it. Ready? I got a new attitude, it's making me feel This is what is real. I got a new attitude. It's making me feel. This is what is real. I'll say it up. I got a new attitude. It's making me feel. This is what is real. Happy holidays, guys. See you next week.
This world is changing more and more every day, and we've decided to change right along with it. My name is Dr. Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the president of Trajectory TV Network. At Trajectory, our vision is to provide a creative platform for top content creators and storytellers from around the globe. We're also dedicated to providing this world with content that is healing, educational, empowering, exciting, and above all else, entertaining and transparent. So right now, I invite all of you who believe yourselves to be global game changers to use the link found here and simply take a chance. Schedule a virtual chat where you'll have the opportunity to share your vision for your very own global television show with me, the network president. So use that link, and together, let's begin changing and healing this world, one story at a time. And remember, whether you have years of experience in front of the camera or zero experience, it doesn't matter. What matters the most is your desire to share great content through television and a willingness to share it with passion and with purpose. You might ask, how do I know if I've fallen in love with my purpose and my purpose has fallen in love with me? It's easy when you've lost your voice because you just can't stop talking about it. I'll see you soon.
All right, we're back. Welcome back. We are going to do meditation moment now. And this is the 5-6 minutes that we do to get present. And for many people, this will be maybe an introductory to meditation and to getting present. And like Nate just explained, it is so important that we do this. And what I want you to see, I'm hoping you see, is that after 5 minutes, how different you actually feel just from taking that short amount of time to get here now. All right. At the end of the meditation, I'm going to guide you, so don't worry. At the end of the meditation, I'm going to send you a beautiful energetic blessing. I spent a month in India for 28 days this past summer at the World Center for Enlightenment. And enlightenment, based on their definition, is the cessation of all forms of suffering. And they gave me the ability to do this. I don't fully understand it other than I know that it works and it helps. And if I can help, I want to do that. So all you have to do is sit and receive if you want to receive. If you don't worry, you won't receive anything you don't want to receive. And just enjoy the feeling. All right. So I want you to sit up. If you're driving, don't close your eyes. And excuse me. And we're going to breathe just conscious breaths right now. Just breathe in and out. Try to make sure that belly's popping out. One more breath. Now I want you to be conscious of what thoughts you're thinking right now. Is it a thought of the present, of the past, or of the future? Don't judge it. Don't make it right or wrong, good or bad. Just observe it. Is it of the past, the present, or the future? Now I want you to visualize a flame between your eyebrows, just in front of your face. And just visualize that flame for a minute. And then move that flame slowly from outside into the middle of your brain. Just move it in. Just visualize it moving in to the middle of your brain. And just watch it flicker there for a minute. Now I want you to think of one thing you're thankful for. You can put your hand on your heart, your hands on your heart, and think of one thing you're thankful for. And that thing should make your lips turn into a smile. Smiling is one of the best ways to become present. What are you thankful for right now? Is it that your heart's beating 100,000 times a day without you having to ask it to? Is it that you can breathe in and out at all? What are you thankful for? And as you sit in gratitude, I want you just to enjoy the blessing. Taking a deep breath and make an ah sound. If you're with us on the chat, please chime in. Your comments are wanted and valued. Love to hear how you felt about that. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so I'm going to bring Nate back on here. All right, welcome back, Nate.
Thank
How
you
was
so
that?
much.
How was that for you?
Oh, that was, if I could live there in that state all the time, I would. And as a matter of fact, I do my best to do that. That's part of my presence process.
Right?
So thank you. I feel so good right now.
I don't know, it's 5-6 minutes, right? And it changes your life. That's called the Serene Mind Practice. You can find it on YouTube. It is not mine. I was given that from Eckham. And you can find it on YouTube, Serene Mind Practice. And it's 5 minutes, 5 minutes of pure joy. All right. So the question of the week next week is, do I want to stay stuck or trapped, or am I willing to do whatever it takes to experience freedom? It's a good question, right? Because sometimes we want to stay stuck. That's the reality. Sometimes we have to wake up to the fact that we are choosing to stay in the spot that we are. And are we willing to do whatever it takes to experience freedom? What Nate had to do to make the choice that he had to make the shift to start his own business, that took some gumption. That took some energy. That took some action. That took some, real stuff. And so I want you to write that down. Do I want to stay stuck or trapped, or am I willing to do whatever it takes to experience freedom? And we're going to go deep into that next week. Awesome. All right. So thank you, Nate, for being here. Thank you for sharing all your wisdom with us. Thank you for the free gift you've offered the audience. I love you for that. Appreciate that. Please show up. Please do it, guys. It's worth it. This could change your life. And this is today's show, guys. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you taking your time, your very precious, precious time to be here. I hope you have the most amazing holidays with your family and the people that you love. Make them count. Take the time. Don't work so much. Be present. Be present, be present, be present, and enjoy your time. And remember, together we vibrate higher. And that, my friends, changes the world.
Yes.
We'll see you next week. Make it glorious. See ya. Thank you for watching Get Your Shit Together live with Amy Joy. If you'd like to follow us, you can on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Amy Joy Coaching. Appreciate so much your likes, comments, and shares. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please reach out. We'll see you next time.